Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Rip N Riff here on the Rip N Riff YouTube, Twitter, /X/Facebook network. I am Adam Bernard at Pucking Thoughts. With me, as always, Mr. Jared Moore. Jared, we have been a little neglectful of the NBA playoffs and basketball in general lately. I think we're going to fix that today.
Yeah, we should probably fix that, seeing as the NBA playoffs are awesome. Like, it's just a fun time of year. And I mean, a lot of these games have been okay, but then you have like some of these games have been great. Like the Nuggets Lakers game the other night was great. The Thunder Pelicans was great. The Knicks game, was thoroughly entertaining, even though I can't stand anything that has to do with the Dolan family. So yeah, it's been fantastic so far.
The Garden's been buzzing. That's been fun to see that going again. You don't see that much with the Knicks. Now, neither one of us are big basketball guys. You know, we pay attention, but we're not too heavily. So I think we need to bring in some help today to, do a nice, do a basketball playoffs justice. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Well, speak no more, because there he is, Mr. Corey Parson, the fantasy exec. Always good to see an old friend here. Corey.
What's up, fellas?
They're the second time. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you. Glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? Get to chop it up a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm actually, I had bought a box of cards, 2 boxes, hobby boxes, back in November, and it's kind of been scattered out all over the place for the past 6 months. And I was like, I'm gonna sell these, the night of the draft, because it was college, Bowman Chrome U. And then yesterday I was like, oh well, this is the week I've been waiting for the past 6 months. So these are football cards I got over here. And then I got some basketball cards we can get into, talk a little NBA playoffs. So definitely looking forward to hanging out with the homies.
Now, we talked draft last week, but what are you looking for NFL draft this week? What are the big things jumping out at you? Obviously, Caleb Williams, to the Bears, top overall, and then that quarterback shuffle there. But what's something you're looking forward to at the draft this week?
Well, interesting to see what these quarterbacks do in this draft. It looks like now we're probably going to get 5, maybe even 6 going in the first round. And we could have 5 quarterbacks drafted in the first half of the first round. So definitely going to be a lot of moving and shaking, trading. People get up to get these quarterbacks. Interesting to see if the Giants go get a quarterback. I know their fan base would like one. Well, some of their fan base say we need a quarterback. Some of their fan base still think it's Daniel Jones. You need an offensive line. So it's interesting to see how these things play out. And from what I was told, we still have some intrigue at number 2, but odds I'm seeing now makes me think that Jaden Daniels, quarterback from LSU, will be the second pick in this draft.
That's been the guy. It was Drake May for a little while, and then it was now Jaden Daniels as of late. So we'll see if it sticks to that. Obviously JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, that all goes in there. But we're talking hoops today, and why don't we run through the packs we're going to open up today here? Let's bring them up on the screen. I'm going to go old school here with a pack of 91-92 Skybox. We got some John Starks, Mario Ellie, 2 of the rookies we're looking for there.
Nice.
A couple others there. Jared's got what? You got a 22-23 Panini Prizm, it looks like?
Yep, a couple packs of those. I have a story pertaining to these packs, so stay tuned for that when we do the Rip and Rant in a few minutes.
And Corey, it looks like you got some 2021-22 Panini Chronicles there.
Yeah, and got a little bit of Chronicles going down, you know what I mean? Just a slight little pickup. Throw some basketball in, talk a little bit with you guys. And listen, now, you look back at some of these draft classes, right? And I'll be honest with you, it's not like I've sat down and looked at the 2021 draft class. I remember, okay, Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes. And I'm like, okay, well, who else are the rookies? Now that we're 3 years removed, what you notice is new guys starting to pop up out of this draft class. You know what I'm saying? So when we get to that, we can talk about that. But it's interesting to see how, you get a pack of cards when they're first released. And, I'm going to go look for this guy and I'm going to look for that guy. And then 2 years later, you'll be like, well, let me go back to that pack because now this guy is hit. You know what I mean? So that's always fun to see, what happens a few years after the initial draft. My favorite is still 2019. I'm still on Ja. I'm still on Zion. And I think that both players are actually discounted in the basketball card world right now.
Maybe a little value there.
Ja really didn't play. Ja basically didn't have a 2023-24 season.
Exactly.
Zion oft injured. Now he's injured again. So who knows?
Yeah.
And I found this random pack of Panini Optic 2022-21. So we'll open up this 1 4-card pack as well. But before we get to ripping, got to do the Dave LaGreca inspired segment called It's Time to Kick Things Off on Rip N Riff with
my Rip N Rant.
Thanks, Dave. All right, so this is we get to rant about whatever we want for a couple of seconds, positive or bad. I'll see if Jared, Corey, one of you guys want to go first here, or should I kick it off?
I'll take the lead on this one, so
All
we can kind of see what we're looking at. So I ran out to the store the other day because I knew we were going to be doing basketball today, and I didn't have any NBA packs on hand. So it's like, all right, let me go and see what they have. And obviously, this is a collectible shop, so they have all sorts of different stuff. So they had a box of Panini Prizms behind the counter, but I couldn't see what year it was or what the price on it was because it was just unlabeled. So asked the guy who's working there, and hey, what year Prizms are those for the basketball? So he pulls the box out, looks at a couple of the packs, and is like, oh, these are the 23-24s. And I was like, oh, well, that's it, interesting, because that's obviously you're chasing the Wemby rookie card with that. How much per pack? $60
for a pack.
For a pack. $60. 60 goddamn dollars for a pack of cards. And look, I understand Wemby has this insane level of hype. He's going to win the Rookie of the Year. It's obviously a coveted rookie card, but just like the fact that like they're trying to gouge you for this one card. $60 for this pack, and then that's the whole genesis of my Rip and Rant today. It's just how inaccessible the hobby is sort of becoming. Because, like, could you imagine, like, when you were kids, and you go to the store and you get your $10 allowance, you buy a couple packs with it, and like that's your weekend. You're just ripping those packs. And you imagine, like, kids today, they're hoping to get like the Wemby rookie because obviously collecting rookie cards is a thing, and he's a huge name in the NBA. And it's just completely inaccessible. It's $60 for one pack when you can go on eBay and like I'm looking at some of the.
I'm about to say I'm looking for the base right now.
Yeah, and like some of the sold. Now I don't understand why so many of these cards are coming from China. I certainly have questions about that and the validity of these cards. But a Wemby, a base like Prizm rookie probably goes for probably about that, like $60.
Probably about $60. Yeah.
Yeah. So like why would I spend $60 on the pack when I could just go on eBay if I wanted the Wemby card that bad? So instead of getting that, I decided to go to 22, 23.
Jared, I'm a big chase guy. So I feel what you're saying. Like so many people can say, why don't you just go buy on eBay and buy the card? Right. It's something about me that likes to get the box and pull the card myself. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So there's that aspect of it too that I kind of wrestle with. But and I was going to buy, it was some Prizm in the store the other day, my famous Walmart. And I was like, I don't have a Wemby, but I was like, yeah, it just, due to our employment situation, it just wasn't the right time.
Right. Understood. I'm not even like a huge like Wemby guy. It's like I would put it this way: if this was like 3 years ago, yeah, I'd probably spend $60 on a Wemby rookie because like why not?
Why not?
Because I look at that as even though I'm not going to sell the card, I look at it as like a future investment. But and it's funny you say that about like the chase because as a video game collector, I'm the same way. Like I could go on eBay and buy these games, but there's something about like going to like the retro game stores that are near me and like seeing it behind the case and like being able to feel it and like and touch it and like see that it's real because especially when you're dealing with a lot of these old school video games. Now you're dealing with like counterfeits and stuff like that. So, because everybody's got to try to scam you. It doesn't matter what industry it is. So, this hobby's too damn expensive.
It's the same with me or records. Like, yes, I could go and find the record I want, but there's something about walking into the shop and like, they got it today. It's in style. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. And hockey cards too with Connor Bedard, not to the same inflated prices, but
I would imagine it's the same thing. But I haven't even looked for a Connor Bedard rookie card because, like, I just imagine the price is going to be insane, and I don't really care that much. Like, I'll collect who I want to collect, but yeah, I would imagine it's the same thing.
Yeah, like the hockey packs, like for this year, could be like $30-$40, and it's like easy. So
$60 for a pack of Prizm cards. Like
that's
what
crazy.
are we doing here?
Now, my rip and rant for today is going to go back to the world of football for a minute, and we're going to keep it brief. But the Jets traded Zach Wilson to the Denver Broncos earlier this week. Now, I preface this by saying that if Zach Wilson was a Panthers quarterback or a Vikings quarterback, this would not happen. It would be typical Jets. I'm not saying he's going to go out and be a Hall of Fame quarterback or a starting quarterback for the next 10 years, but I think he's going to end up being made serviceable in Denver. And then the other layer I'm just preemptively getting out the frustration of can't make it happen here, and then he goes somewhere else and gets developed. Second layer to this, what does Sean Payton have against Nathaniel Hackett? First, he throws unsolicited strays at him last year, like, oh, coaching was the problem, and I'm here to fix that. Now what? He goes out and gets Zach Wilson to prove that he can actually make something out of this guy? Like, what? Like, did Nathaniel Hackett steal your girl at some point, Sean Payton? Like, what's going on here? Like, why do you not like this guy? What do you got to prove against him?
That's one thing. Here's one thing. Payton to coach him, though. Payton to coach him up. That's one thing that you give. I think one of the biggest things that with Zach Wilson. No, this was Sam Darnold. Jesus Christ! How many quarterbacks failed quarterbacks? How many years you gonna go get the second quarterback selected? Well, Sam Darnold, like you can't have Adam Gase and some of these jackasses coach these young quarterbacks. A big part of it is where they get selected. If the Broncos move up to get a quarterback, that guy's going to be coached right. You know it because it's Sean Payton, and that's what he does. Now, the Bears, the Giants, and not to dunk on the Giants. Hell, the Dallas Cowboys. You don't know if the player's going to get coached properly when they come into your system. So that's really important when it comes to the quarterback position.
Yeah, I'll say a few things on this. One, I'm very skeptical that Zach Wilson is going to start week 1 for the Broncos. I'm sure the Broncos are they're going to try like hell to draft somebody this weekend, whether it's Bo Nix or
McCarthy or whoever,
or Michael Penix or McCarthy. Maybe one of the quarterbacks actually winds up slipping because let's be real, JJ McCarthy should not be in the top 10 of this draft. Like he shouldn't. But
I don't. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's that, and then also. I feel like in a lot of ways the Jets kind of did this to themselves by keeping Zach Wilson on the roster last year when they traded for Aaron Rodgers, and everybody knew that that was going to be a disaster. And look, nobody expected Aaron Rodgers to get hurt, but you had to have expected that that it was at least in the realm of possibility that a 40-year-old quarterback behind a bad offensive line might get hurt at some time. Yeah. And you didn't have a backup plan.
My other thing I will say is, why isn't Zach Wilson been in any sort of Mom Jeans commercial yet? I mean, the marketing writes itself, doesn't it? I mean, like, come on.
He should still be in college. He would have NIL would be crazy. No
kidding. So yeah, so just if I could just see that happening, just because that's what happens. That's that kind of stuff. Good for you, Zach Wilson. Wish you well, but you'll probably be somewhat decent now with Sean Payton. There you go.
Corey, you got something you want to get off your chest? A little rant?
Yeah, I got a little something for you. So, I saw earlier today where Reggie Bush got his Heisman Trophy back.
I saw.
And listen, there are some sports wrongs that need to be righted. Reggie Bush get his Heisman Trophy back, being one of them. Sterling Sharp should be in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm thinking about, okay, like what else can be done? Then I started thinking about college. And I thought the stupidity of taking away trophies. I saw with my eyes Reggie Bush dominate college football in 2005. That didn't happen. That didn't go away just because you take the trophy back. Which leads me to the Michigan Wolverines in the Fab Five. One of John, not this is not
where I thought you were going, but continue.
Yes. This is not.
I thought you were going to mention Jim Harbaugh getting the 15-0 tattoo.
Yeah, this is a
It's never a Michigan sandal.
Yeah, exactly. So now you got the Wolverines, right? Final Four snatched from them with the Fab Five. We all watched him go to the Final Four. It's one of the most memorable big games in college basketball history when they lost in the championship to North Carolina with the timeout. Now you expect us to believe that didn't happen because you got a beef with the fact that Chris Webber may have been getting money? Like it said, like the Heisman Trust said with Reggie Bush, we have seen enormous changes in college sports. We have seen enormous changes in college sports. The Fab Five banner needs to go back up in that arena in Ann Arbor. That's probably the biggest thing that I'm riffing on right now is how people think that I'll take the trophy, I'll take the banner. Well, we saw it happen. It's you know what I'm saying?
Unless
so
you got like one
right
of those Men in Black devices where you just erase the memory and like, okay, like you can vacate wins and all that stuff, but like we watched the games.
We watched the game.
It happened.
It happened.
And I love how college sports is the only place where this happens. Like, let's just use baseball as an example. We all saw the steroid era happen, but I don't see MLB like taking away the Yankee World Series because they had a bunch of guys on steroids. Major League Baseball didn't take away the Astros World Series when they were literally banging trash cans and cheating.
Yeah. I like, oh well, Mark McGwire was, was using the performance enhancing drugs. So that season, awesome. The Cardinals went 0-162. You know what I'm saying? We all saw what happened that summer.
Right. The National Football League, they didn't take away the Patriots Super Bowls because of Spygate.
Exactly. Taking away championships and trophies and stuff like that. That is the most NCAA thing that the NCAA could do. And hopefully they've done with that foolishness.
Yeah.
But hey, congrats to Reggie Bush for getting his trophy back. And now he's got a nice piece when he walks in the house, a nice little centerpiece to talk about.
There you go.
All right. We got our Rip and Rants out. Why do you say, let's get into some pack ripping here. What do you say?
Let's do it.
You want to go chronologically? You want me to kick things off here?
Go ahead.
Sure, go for it.
Let's do it. All right, so let's bring up the West Coast Rip Cam here.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
We spare no expense, my friend.
Don't mind the coin. That's an old starting lineup coin that I use as my marker.
Okay.
That one's Willie Flipper Anderson. Last week we had Ozzie Guillen to suck up to Bill Zimmerman.
Shout out to Ozzie Guillen. Shout out to Bill Zimmerman. What's up with Bill? Billy Z.
Big Bears draft, Windy City Gridiron. He's the guy right there.
Is he still at Sirius XM?
No, he is not. We could talk about that off air.
Well, I'm not even going to bring it up then. Him, like many of the rest of us, are no longer there.
We're all alumni. All right.
Some of us are by choice, and his wasn't. And I don't want to air his dirty laundry. But, we'll leave it at that.
Let's just leave that whole organization at that.
Yes, let's kick things off with one of the all-time, great guys all around, front office and a player, Danny Ainge.
I'm glad you mentioned his front office acumen. Definitely does a good job of building teams. Look at that old Skybox logo. Beautiful.
Love the design of these cards.
Yep.
Now, I still like the old gold trim border better, but, these are still pretty good. So we got a old school Dallas Mavericks jersey there, Kelvin Upshaw.
Okay.
All right, so now, if you want a picture that says early 90s attire, look at that guy right there. Gerald Wilkins. I mean, that is the 90s look right there.
Definitely 100%. Didn't go with the Miami Vice look.
That look carried into the early 2000s. And the best example I would use, Corey, I'm sure you follow Jasmine Watkins on Twitter. She's big in like NBA Twitter, but go back and look at like some of the 2003 NBA draft suits and just see like how
like that Carmelo Anthony commercial.
All of them, yeah, not just Carmelo, but like LeBron's suit is huge. Like all those guys in that 2003 class.
I had
bordering on zoot suits. They were getting so big.
Yeah, I had some of them big suits myself.
It was the style at the time.
Yeah, it was.
We got Fred Roberts here, pictured with the old Bucks there.
Yeah.
Good college basketball analyst, Mike Jaminski.
Shout out to Mike Jaminski, North Carolina State University, Charlotte Hornet representative.
We've got Cliff Levingston of the Bulls here. Not a great card, but it's about to get better here. We got Klay Thompson's dad, Michael.
There you go, Klay Thompson's. Hey, have you guys heard that Klay Thompson may actually play? This is interesting. I never knew this. Klay Thompson shouldn't be on any Olympic team, but no. He's not going to be on Team USA. He may actually play for Team Bahamas in the Olympics if the Bahamas team qualifies.
So what? They'll get thrashed, maybe 100 to 80 instead
yeah,
of
exactly. Or if now you never know with Clay, it might be 100 to nothing.
I mean, look, it makes sense. He's going to be a free agent. It's a showcase event, and he wants to show teams that he's not washed. The problem is he's just cooked.
He's washed.
Like he's just not cooked. The same player.
100%. You know what I'm saying? So there we go.
And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the Warriors do this offseason, because obviously Steph and Draymond have a lot of pull there, and they publicly said that they want him back, but that's it for this group. They're done.
I don't be surprised if they bring him back.
I wouldn't be surprised, but
especially now with Bob Myers. With Bob Myers, Bob Myers, I think was the dude that kind of was like, y'all got to break this friendship up. And then Kerr came to the podium last year and was like, Draymond's coming back, and I was like, and you notice the next day Bob Myers was gone.
He's out. Yeah.
So it was like Bob Myers knows that this run is over. You know what I'm saying? He knew it, and they got Dunleavy's son out there now, Dunleavy Jr., who you see in Dunleavy Sr. played for the Trailblazers. But now with Dunleavy Jr. out there, I think Dunleavy Jr. is just a figurehead that's going to do what Kerr and Curry wants, and that's going to be bringing Clay back.
Bob Myers left the party right before he had to start helping clean up. So good for him.
Good for him. Yeah, he took his
old
beer
Irish
too.
Goodbye.
Oh, the checklist. How about that? The checklist. Yeah.
And we talked Michigan hoops before. How about Glenn Rice?
Yeah, Glenn Rice, definitely a Wolverine right there. He had some good years with the Miami Heat as well, the original Miami Heat, Glenn Rice.
Yes, the original Heat. We got a underrated player on those Rockets teams, Otis Thorpe.
Yeah, definitely. We just saw the passing of O.J. Simpson last week, and I always, every time I think of those old school Rockets, I think about 1994, that car chase in the Knicks losing. That was Game 5?
I think that was Game 5, if I recall correctly.
I thought that was Game 2. Interesting. Okay,
maybe one or the other. It might, but it was that was like. Can you imagine if social media existed back then? NBA Finals.
Oh yeah,
you had the Rangers were on an off night, but they were in the Cup Finals, and then it would have blown up.
The whole. Remember, if Twitter was back then, the greatest night in Twitter sports history would have been the Malice at the Palace. That would have been the greatest event 100%. In the history of Twitter sports.
For pre-Twitter era, because like it existed during the Galarraga blown perfect game. It wasn't what it was at this point, but it still was around. But the Malice at the Palace, that's a good one.
See, I think OJ might have been bigger though, just because of who it was.
Yeah, that's true too.
The fact that it happened during the NBA Finals, I think, adds to it.
And the other thing, too, is we all love a good high-speed car chase. We should throw in that element in there, too. So there you go. We got Mark Allaire from the old Bullets. Willie Anderson with the Spurs. With that, I love the older version of the logo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now we got an insert here, behind the scenes NBA All-Star Weekend here. It's got a little blurb on the back, but we got, it looks like Kevin McHale and Charles Barkley there. And was that Joe Dumars in the middle, number 4?
Joe Dumars, the microwave.
Now we got 2 good cards to close the pack here. How about the human highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins?
Shout out to Dominique Wilkins. I've seen Dominique Wilkins recently not cutting his grass, but leaving his house. I know somebody lived in the same subdivision. It wasn't me. I don't live in the same subdivision.
Does he go to the same Walmart though to get cards? Is the question.
Probably so. I could definitely see that being the case.
And we wrap up this with one of the greater point guards of all time, John Stockton, right there. That's a cool shot with like the ball like being passed around and everything.
And that's Hakeem Olajuwon in the photo as well. So you got 2 legends in that picture right there, John Stockton and Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon will teach you the dream shake for about $100,000. That's
a reasonable price.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what he charges for like his big man class. Some crazy number like that. But good for him, because if you can add the dream shake to your arsenal, good for you.
It might be worth it for $100,000, depending on where the Rockets also had some epic battles in the 90s playoffs. I feel like they were just 2 of those teams where they were on a collision course a lot.
No doubt.
All right, we got one more pack before we hand things off here. I think Corey would be next chronologically. All right. So we got this one's a pretty good pack here. We got John Wall pictured with the Rockets.
Oh yeah, this is the John Wall to teach me how to Dougie. That's a different Rocket uniform right there. Boy, I tell you, that career went down fast.
No kidding.
Is John Wall even still playing?
I don't believe John Wall nor DeMarcus Cousins plays professional in the NBA.
Another guy that's from his era that had kind of went off a cliff at the end. Not his fault. Blake Griffin.
Yeah, Blake Griffin definitely went off a cliff.
But that's because he played his ass off for so long too. He took a lot of heavy miles at the end of his career in Detroit. And
I feel like Blake Griffin was in the NBA last year. Did he play for the Heat last year? Something crazy like that. Like I believe Blake Griffin was on the back of somebody's bench.
I want to say the Celtics, maybe.
Let's see. He was on the back of somebody's bench recently.
Yeah, the Celtics, and then also he played in Brooklyn briefly as well.
Okay, yes. There you go, right there. Yeah.
All right, 2 more. I
knew it was a team I didn't like. I said Miami, but Boston and Brooklyn would definitely fit into that category.
Griffin's former team, the Clippers. We got Serge Ibaka there, and then Ibaka. And now we got a Jonas Valanciunas. Yeah, that is a
no. I'm saying no. Do you have a rookie in that pack?
No rookies in this pack. Last one. It's only a 4-card pack, and I'm throwing it in because I found it. We're going through my stash of packs. Jonas Valanciunas there.
JV, very good veteran big man for years now. Normally his teams play in the postseason. He's great on the offensive glass. You know what I'm saying? So Jonas Valanciunas has definitely made a good career for himself.
And there we go. That is the 2021 bonus Panini Optic pack there that I ripped just because I found it. And I like that Skybox pack. That had some good stuff in there. A lot of base, nothing crazy value there, but always fun to reminisce and go down memory lane. I think if we're going chronologically, you would be up next, Mr. Parson.
All right, so let's get over here. I'll show you all the football cards before we end, but little pack of Chronicles picked up from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? 2021 draft class. Now you remember Cade Cunningham and Scotty Barnes, who won the Rookie of the Year. But as you continue to go through this draft class, what you'll notice is it starts to get better. You got guys like Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, Josh Giddey, Jonathan Kuminga is now doing his thing. He's starting to come up. Corey Kispert. Alperen Sengun is probably going to end up being the best player of this class. Trey Mann. I can't pronounce his name. But Trey Mann also in this class as well. And even when you get into the second round, you also see Herb Jones, who is doing a good job right now for the Pelicans, is in this class. Ayo DeSamo is also in this class. Isaiah Livers starting to get some more play. So the draft class has gotten better as we removed away from it. But just to let you know, a couple of the people that we are hunting in here.
Always love that. Always love a rundown.
Yeah, there you go. A good rundown for you. So this is the basic. Let me start right here. There's a couple of cards turned around. This is the basic design. A lower level Panini basketball card. There you go. Good right there. And we start with a rookie in Dwayne Washington Jr., who never really done anything in his Pacer career. And then we come back with another nobody. Zaire Williams had a good rookie season with Memphis. He may not even be in the league right now. He fell off kind of big time right there.
I want to go back to the Pacers for a second. Do you give him a chance here to give the Bucks problems and maybe
they're a tough matchup for the Bucks, Adam, because Damian Lillard, for all of his great offensive skills, he's a 0 on defense, and Tyrese Halliburton can eat him alive. So they're going to struggle. This is going to be a back and forth series. If Giannis comes back, he'll probably look as terrible as Joel Embiid does right now. So I just don't think that. I think the Pacers are a very good shot to win this series. Another rookie out this class. Speaking of the Indiana Pacers, Dwayne Washington Jr. Golden State Warrior rookie. Now, this Chronicles to give you a bunch of different flavors and looks. It might actually even be a mosaic or a prism in here as well. Moses Moody, another Golden State Warrior that's trying to get his playing time up. This is an interesting card, rookie card from Ayo DeSamo, former Illinois prospect, plays for the Chicago Bulls right now. As they start to make changes in the Bulls, his minutes are going to go up. He's a guy that could threaten a most improved player moving forward. He's a good young guard. Another Moses Moody card. Now you see they also give you different looks in this one. Here goes a rated rookie look coming out of Chronicles for Omar Yestervin, I believe how you pronounce his name. So that's the Donruss look. Miami Heat rookie. Jonathan Kuminga, outside of Steph Curry, is probably the best player on the Golden State Warriors right now.
I would agree with that.
He is the future of the franchise, not Draymond Green and Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Jeremiah Robinson Earl kind of has a granddad type name with 3 names. You know what I'm saying?
He needs another name.
And, you know, all 3 of them could actually be a first name.
Which is rare.
Jeremiah, biblical first name. Robinson can also be a first name. And Earl is kind of like a guy at the liquor store.
I am one of those people that has 2 first names as a full name, so I get it.
Yeah. Josh Primo, San Antonio Spurs. Talked about the Spurs earlier. Here goes a prestige look for Joel Embiid. And listen, I'm a big Joel Embiid supporter. You know what I'm saying? When he is right and healthy, he is the most talented player in the NBA. The problem with it is he's never healthy in the postseason. They got to figure out a way to have him healthy down the stretch. He's already won an MVP. It's not that big of a deal to him anymore. He needs to be playing deep. I mean, this is a team that they've never made the conference finals. I tell people all the time, I think I may have mentioned this to you at one point, Jared. The Philadelphia 76ers are the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. A legacy franchise. They are great in the regular season. You know, they always have a big fancy record. They got great players on their team, but they don't go very far in the playoffs. They lose 50-0 at home. Still
I feel
mad
like the Knicks
about
are
that.
a bad matchup for them too.
Yeah.
Like, of all the teams they could have drawn, like, I mean, I this is probably going the same way if they played Boston as well. It's just the position they put themselves in with the play-in, but
Was the Sixers' last finals appearance AI? That was their last finals appearance, right?
The last finals appearance. That was the last time they went to the conference finals too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, this is the Philadelphia 76ers, the big bag 76ers. Aaron Wiggins of the Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the young players on that Thunder team. That Thunder team is, you can see this was coming. I didn't think it was going to be number 1 seed in the West this soon. Now, what are they going to do in the postseason? I think more veteran teams like the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets can eliminate them from the playoffs. Cleveland Cavalier, big man, rookie card for Evan Mobley.
Nice.
The Cavs will probably be gone after this round. They should get past Orlando. I think Orlando could make it interesting when they get down there to Orlando. Cleveland a better team than those guys are, though. So I do like the Cavaliers to win the series and then get bounced the next round. Another Josh Primo. Franz Wagner of Orlando, him and his brother both getting it done right now. I use him in here's a Devin Booker Chronicles right here.
Nice.
Devin Booker, that Suns team. I told people when it happened, when they went out there and added Bradley Beal, I'm like, you got 3 good players. You got Beal, you got Durant, and then I don't even consider Beal a good player anymore. And you got Devin Booker.
They torpedoed their depth.
And they ruined their team. That new owner did that too. Firing the guy wasn't a great idea as well. Here goes another Zaire Williams. Had that great run a couple years ago and hasn't been able to get on track since. Donovan Mitchell, absolute green parallel. Ooh. Donovan Mitchell in a Cleveland it's Utah Jazz uniform still. So there goes Donovan Mitchell. Tendon Waterford, not much of nothing right there on the Trailblazers, formerly known as the Trailblazers. Davion Mitchell.
Ooh, that's
a shiny Excalibur card right here. Davion Mitchell, rookie. Mitchell played on that great Baylor team that beat Gonzaga. I think Gonzaga was trying to go undefeated. Yes, and they beat Gonzaga in the national championship game. Really good defensive guard right now for the Sacramento Kings. Josh Christopher with Houston. Here we go. A little LaMelo Ball on the marquee.
Ooh. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice looking one. That's a nice set.
Ball. Yep, Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball. Here goes a rookie marquee of Trey Murphy. That Trey Murphy on that New Orleans Pelicans team. Trey and the Pelicans. You just got to get Zion to stay healthy. That can be a talented team. And I knew they would throw us ooh, this is good right here. We got a hit right here.
Ooh.
Mosaic. Jalen Suggs, rookie.
Very nice.
Very nice. That needs to go on a sleeve immediately.
Yep. So We'll get that sleeved up. Oh boy, Crusade Rookies and Stars. You have what some people call the GOAT. I like that it is the Laker blue uniform.
Yes,
I like that Lakers uniform.
Yeah. So there you go. Got the king right there, LeBron James. Oh, and after the king comes the new king,
the Joker himself. This is a good pack.
Yeah, I mean, Joker's just the best player in the league right now. I mean, that's a tough matchup for the Lakers. It's not going to be much of a series, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets wound up repeating.
Jalen Green, rookie.
Jalen Green, rookie, second pick of the 2021 draft, doing his thing with the Houston Rockets. So shout out to Jalen Green, first pick of that draft. Cade Cunningham, score rookie right there. Detroit Pistons, great player, and then another Trey Murphy rookie right there. So New Orleans Pelicans. So decent haul right there. You know what I'm saying? Nothing.
I love that this pack was loaded, and also that there was about 47 cards in this pack.
Yes, yeah. It seemed like it was 1,000.
I think I need to make a trip to your local Walmart and buy some packs. I may fly across the country for that.
You certainly got your money's worth there.
Yeah, so it was $5. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
$5 in a dream.
There you go.
Very, very nice. Well, speaking of $5, that's about all I could afford with these packs. So I think without further ado, we can pull up the East Coast cam, and while Adam gets that situated, I'll rip this pack open. Let's see, we got that right here.
East Coast cam.
Yeah. You gotta look at my dusty cable box and phone charger. So
it's a fast charge.
Oh, I got one of those chargers too. I like those better than the plug-in chargers.
Oh, they're much better. Set
them on the base, yeah.
So I only got 2 packs here. It's 8 cards, so we're gonna go through them all pretty quickly here. Alec Burks from your Detroit Pistons.
Right now in New York Knicks.
Will the Pistons ever be good again? Or are they just going to be like that franchise that forever sputters?
No, the Pistons, they got too much talent. Monty got to figure out a way to turn that thing around. It didn't look good this year. Alec Burks, first person off the bench after DiVincenzo hit that big 3 the other night. Speaking of DiVincenzo's big 3 the other night, the rare double bang.
Oh, yeah, from Mike Breen.
Yeah, the double bang. You really don't get a lot of double bangs. I think you can count probably less than 10 all-time double bangs.
I don't think he has control over the double bang. I think it's just like an instinctual thing that just comes out. Like his eyes know when it's time for the double bang. Like it's not a thought. It just happens.
The last bang. Okay, so I remember Julius Randle got a double bang late last season in Miami. He hit a 3 as the game was ending. He got the double bang. And then I remember Ray Allen, the legendary Ray Allen shot was a double bang. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Jared.
Listen, when you look like me, the single bang is rare. So I'll leave it at that. Trae Young for your Atlanta Hawks. If the Atlanta Hawks were smart, they would probably trade him and blow that entire team up.
Because they need to do that because he's already done so.
Yeah. Spencer Dinwiddie with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie. He's a good player.
A lot of Nets fans were not happy when he was dealt out.
And the rookie card from this pack, Jaden Hardy from the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, didn't really get a good rookie.
Yeah.
Well, we got one more shot here. We got one more pack. So
there we go.
We'll see what we got here.
One more $60 pack now. Let me stop.
No, these packs were $6. So you get what you pay for here. So we start this one with a well, we just mentioned this player, Joel Embiid.
How about that, Big Joel?
Sixers. Yeah, I can sympathize with somebody with bad knees. So shout out to Joel Embiid. Let's see. Daniel Theis from the Indiana Pacers.
Wow.
Who would the Knicks fare better against next round, the Bucks or the Pacers?
Oh, the Pacers. The Knicks have historically struggled with the Bucks. But I think this is a different Knicks team. But the Pacers would be a much less formidable opponent. Excuse me.
We got our instant impact card here with I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Ochai Ajabi.
Ajabi, yeah. Oh, Ajabi, yeah. Utah Jazz. Yeah, it's a nice card.
Yeah, very nice card. And
Sorry, young man.
another rookie card here, player I've never heard of, which is always wonderful with these. From the Milwaukee Bucks, Marjan Beauchamp.
Yeah, good luck with that one. At least it's not Thanos. Who has that Thanos Antetokounmpo rookie?
I'd rather have
What's
that.
his name? What's his name? Thanasis or something like that?
Something like that.
I'd honestly rather have that because he's managed to stick around the league for what 7 or 8 years now, or however long.
Well, you know why.
Well, of course you know why he's sticking around in the league, but like at least I'd rather have that. Like I don't mean any disrespect to Mr. Beauchamp here, but he's going to be doing something else in 2 years.
He does have a nice head of hair though in that card.
Yeah, he does. He's full head of hair. I can appreciate that as someone who's balding. So,
yeah, as somebody who's that's the first thing I look for a lot of times is like how nice the hair is. A little envy.
Yeah. So unfortunately, since it's only 4 cards a pack, that's all I have for the basketball for today. I mean, fortunately, like I showed Adam, I teased a bunch of the other packs that I picked up, like the Dimension Baseball, the Sports Illustrated.
I'm intrigued by that one.
For real.
The National Football League 1995 scorecards. Tops 1996. So these will be ripped on future editions of Rip N Riff. So stay tuned for those.
Nice little smattering of packs there.
Yeah, and you know what? The price was right. They were all like $3 a pack, which is how much packs should be.
Correct. I remember when you were like, you'd walk into a store as a kid and like, like the expensive packs were like $5. That was like, all right, fine, I'll get that at the expense of not getting 2 or 3 other packs. But nowadays, give me a $5 pack all day. So we're gonna wrap things up here. One more thing to do.
You know how much a fitted hat costs now?
Like $45, right?
$45. I remember buying fitted hats for $15.
$15, $20 when they first started coming. Fitted hats and T-shirts at concerts pretty much follow the same price scale through the years because that's what it costs to get a T-shirt at a concert now is $45, which is insane.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild.
And it's also insane how there's a monopoly over buying any sports paraphernalia, memorabilia. I don't want to say memorabilia, but like any sports apparel, you have to go to the same website to get it for all of them. And
it's all Fanatics.
Low quality products.
It's interesting. Did you see Gabe tweeted that the other day, right? Now, listen, I'm not here to go off on that company that we may need, right? But listen, I don't know who's in the warehouse and doing that stuff, but I have ordered some stuff and I'd be like, what the hell is this? Like, not even the right stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Not like the wrong size, just totally wrong.
Just totally wrong altogether. Now, one thing I will say is, though, the quality is not great after one wash, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of expected that. I do got to get my, I like the South Carolina shirt, the, what's the one? You win some, you lose none. I thought that was clever, you know what I'm saying? But they're having a festival. Have you guys seen this?
Oh.
They're having a festival this year, Fanatics Fest. It's going to be at the Jacob Javits Center from August 16th, 17th, and 18th of this year. And I'm thinking to myself, why? I'm surprised nobody's trying to get in there to hold fantasy drafts in there. But yeah, it's supposed to be Derek Jeter's going to be there. Tom Brady's going to be there. A who's who of people, and they're going to have memorabilia. They're going to have autographs. They're going to have cards. They're going to have paraphernalia. You name it. They're going to have it, Fanatics Fest, not to promote their festival, but
it almost sounds like they're trying to do it sounds like they're trying to do a sports version of Comic-Con is what they're trying to do.
That's 100% what Michael Rubin called it, a sports version of Comic-Con.
So, I mean, that would be cool. I mean, I would go to that if I was in the area.
You wouldn't travel from west to east to go to it?
Who's paying the bill?
Well, there you go.
I mean, the last day falls on my dad's birthday. Nothing says happy birthday like going to, Fanatics Fan Fest or whatever we're calling it. But all right.
What do you think? Jared, you going to make the trip up?
I go to one convention a year, too many games in Oaks, Pennsylvania. And that's more for like retro video games and stuff like that. So there you go. I'm gonna stick with my wheelhouse there.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So we wrap every episode with a guessing game we like to call the starting lineup figure 5. Jared and a guest, if one's here, gets 5 total questions to try and figure out who's in the box. If you guys get it right, I get to unbox.
Is it John Starks?
It is not John Starks, although he is a part of the audience today. We'll get to the starting lineup studio audience. Yes, you got 5 questions. I give you the sport, and that's all you get. So for today, it's a basketball playoff edition while I knock my water over. So it'll be a basketball starting lineup. And with that, play the questions. Begin.
All right. So I'll
now,
ask
is it 5 for Jared and 5 for me?
5 total. So you can divide it up 3 and 2, however you want. Or I mean, we'll make it 3 and 3 today. We'll do 6.
Okay.
But if you need 6 questions to get it, I would be very surprised.
Has this player won an NBA championship?
He sure has.
Has the you can't say what team the player played for?
I mean, that would probably give it. You could ask if he's played for a certain team or not, but if you ask for his entire roster, that would give it away. His entire, playing career.
Okay. Did the player play in the 1990s?
Yes, and through the 2000s, and through up until about 2010, 2011.
And what was the first question Jared asked?
If he won a championship.
And you said yes?
Yes, he has won a champ. He's got multiple rings.
I have an idea who it might be already.
Okay.
From the way you framed it. Did this player play his entire career with one team?
No.
Okay, so I was off there. So there you go.
Is this player, this question number 4?
Correct.
Is this player currently in the media?
Yes.
It's the Shaquille O'Neal.
Just jumping the damn gun, are we? And Jared, be correct. Good.
Yeah. My next question was going to be: did this player play at the Great Western Forum?
He did play at the Great Western Forum. Yeah, I mean, you got it down there pretty quickly, but I mean, and it's appropriate too because he's got the blue jersey on we talked about earlier. So there we go.
That is, look at that. That's nothing but God.
Shout
out to the blue jersey.
And I'm glad you guys got this because I've been wanting to open this one up for a while.
Let's do it. Let's put him in the studio audience. Shaq, Kobe.
Corey, where are you on the Magic retiring Shaq's number? Even though he only played there for like 4 years.
They don't have no jersey. They don't have no other jersey to retire. So do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might as well just throw it up there.
They're not going to retire Hito Turkoglu?
You know what's so funny? I was watching the night, and Shaq's such a cool character. The night where he went into got his jersey retired, rather. Right. He was actually broadcasting the game, not from TNT Studios.
For NBA TV.
For NBA TV. And it was a big, you know how they always make fun on that inside the NBA show. And
wasn't he upset because the game was on NBA TV?
No, he was upset because they didn't televise that. They didn't televise the jersey retirement on TNT. So being that they didn't televise it, he was upset about that.
I can understand that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So he figured that his jersey retirement should have been televised, and him and Charles, and Charles Barkley was like, nobody want to see an Orlando Magic jersey retirement ceremony.
All right, I'm going to throw a hot take out there.
Let's do it.
I think there's about 5 guys the Magic should have retired their number before Shaquille O'Neal.
Penny Hardaway,
Dwight Howard. I would argue Jameer Nelson.
I don't think Jameer Nelson is.
Yeah,
he was a good player for a while on some of those teams.
Hey,
I would argue that
Dwight Howard's not in the NBA. It's not in the Hall of Fame. Wait a minute, he's not eligible yet. He's not been retired for
got out of the league.
He's not retired 5 years.
He retired. So
Is he an NBA top 75 player?
He's got to be, right?
I don't think so.
I mean, he's a former defensive player of the year. Did he ever win a championship? Obviously, he didn't win the championship the year the Magic got to the finals. But
that Dwight Howard is not on the NBA top 75.
He's not.
Nope.
I'm very surprised by that.
I don't know. I mean, you look at some of the names on the list, and it's like, there's only so many you can get on the 75. And I know it's a high number, but I mean, who would you like? You take Kawhi Leonard off for him? Like,
no, Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Now that could be personal. I'm not a big Russell Westbrook guy, right?
Right.
So I think Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis. I'm not sure Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis is on that list, and he should not be there.
They put Anthony Davis on that list to future-proof that list.
Now, very well, you could be correct with that. But here's the deal. To me, the biggest omission is not Howard. The biggest omission is Vince Carter.
Because there was, I mean, there was a period there where he was like the biggest player in the game or one of the top three.
Look at his longevity. Look at his longevity, his popularity. And I don't know if you guys ever seen it. Have you ever seen? He is the reason why basketball became popular in Toronto.
I mean, I would expect. Yeah. I mean, him and Damon Stoudemire were the two guys that were really out there.
Nobody in Toronto really had no basketball history. But when Vince got out there, basically they became like an American city because they would emulate what was going on in American cities.
And it's also when you play for the Raptors, you're really playing for the entire state of Canada. Let's be real, the entire country of Canada. Excuse me, you're not just playing for Toronto. That's their one team. So same thing with the
biggest Canadian sports moment, Kawhi Leonard shot, or it's probably some Olympic hockey, right?
It's going to be Sidney Crosby's golden goal.
Sidney Crosby golden goal in the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. Paul Henderson 72 Summit Series against the Soviet Union is up there for Canada for sure. I know
Fred
that's
McGriff.
Joe Carter's.
I said Fred McGriff. Joe Carter. Yeah, Joe Carter.
Joe Carter's got to be up there. I would. Those are probably three of your bigger ones. Do you have any Canadians that want to weigh in that are watching among the 98?
We need the remote broadcast from Canada. Let's go.
if the Leafs ever win the cup, which at the rate we're going is never going to happen, but if they ever win the cup, that'll jump to number one on the list.
I mean, maybe there's a CFL moment we're ignoring, or who knows?
Yeah,
but I like the CFL. It is a little like filler TV, but once again, we'll bring it back here. Shaquille O'Neal, he was the guy we got on box today. And he's going to join the starting lineup studio audience next week. And in this week's audience, Charles Barkley from the 95 edition, Sean Kemp from the 97 edition. We talked about Rick Smits, the Duncan Dutchman, on last week's show, so he gets an appearance. And then John Starks, who I've misspelled there, but nonetheless, Mr. 2 for 15 himself in Game 7. There he is. And Shaq will join next week's audience. So there you go.
And don't forget about Game 6. He won Game 6 by himself.
True. But 2 for 17, maybe at like 2 for 11, you just say, you know what, I don't got it tonight. Let me dish the ball.
Pat Riley should have put Hubert Davis in the game. I'm the big John Starks supporter, but Hubert Davis should have came in that game in the second half.
Yeah, but maybe the Knicks will get their title this year. Who knows? Maybe it's 30 years later. Maybe this is the time. But
maybe Pace will fly.
Yeah, maybe the Cowboys will win.
What four teams would have to win at the same time from the four major sports for the Earth to explode? I would assume you got the Leafs, the Cowboys. Give me a baseball, Knicks, and who's a baseball team that? Is it the Mariners because they haven't won?
No, probably like the Cleveland Indians, just because they've got the longest drought now. Probably either them or probably the Oakland A's. So
I was going to say the Angels, maybe the Angels.
But
maybe nobody cares about the Angels.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a base. I guess maybe the A's or the Guardians, one of those two. That would be the
honestly. It might be the Yankees only because it'll piss so many people off when the Yankees finally win another World Series.
That's true.
Actually, you know what? We're overlooking the obvious answer. It's the Mets.
Oh yeah, we are overlooking the obvious answer.
I'm not rooting for that.
I'm not rooting for that.
I didn't say I was rooting for it. We're overlooking the obvious answer.
I would like the world to exist for at least, another 50, 60
exactly.
years. Maybe a little longer for my kid, other than that. Yeah. But hey, Corey, thank you so much for joining us today. Talking a little NBA playoffs here. You can find him on Twitter at the Fantasy Exec. I know you're going to have some football draft cards you're going to be posting for sale, looks like later, maybe.
Yeah, I'll be throwing some football stuff out there later on today, putting on eBay. I'm just trying to get rid of some of this Bowman Chrome stuff. Got a lot of Marvin Harrison Jr. in here. We got some Joe Alton here. We got some Brock Bowers, Cooper DeJean. He could be very popular. Brock Bowers, Cooper DeJean, Roman Dunze, Brian Thomas Jr., and of course, the man of the hour,
Mr. Caleb Williams himself.
There you go, right there. All right, fellas, holla at you.
Can I piggyback with a Jaden Hardy rookie card?
Ooh.
But that'll do it for us. Don't forget, you could get Jared's poker content. The Poker Playing Stinks production values are great, as we always say. YouTube at Jared Moore Poker. Also his coverage about the Devils at allaboutthejersey.com. And of course, Total Hockey Now. A new episode came out yesterday, talking all Stanley Cup playoffs with myself, Christopher Murray, and Anthony Rivera. But for all the guys here, for at Mr. Jared Moore, for the fantasy exec, Corey Parson, I'm Adam Bernard. We'll be back with you next Wednesday on an all-new edition of Rip N Riff here on the Rip N Riff YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook network.